I said it's so's your mother seminar. All right. This is Greg McIntyre, the overall guy here with Hayden Soloway. And Jamie Richard, he's on the phone. He's always on the phone doing business. He's on the phone with the New York Stock Exchange right now.
Yep.
Hayden, why is this a so's your mother seminar? What's that mean?
Covers. You want me to go back to the pizza place?
Yeah, tell me what so's your mother means.
There used to be a Pizza Plates in Davidson,
Okay.
and they had a pizza that had olives and peppers and onions and mushrooms and everything. And they said, yeah, we've got this on it, and this on it, and this on it, and this is on it, and this is on it, and so's your mother.
And so's your mother.
So's your mother
So it's
pizza.
the so's your mother pizza. This is the so's your mother seminar. We're going to talk about financial things.
Yes.
We're going to talk about elder law and estate planning and a little bit of everything. This is the so's your mother seminar. Okay.
Right.
All right. So now we know what that means. I say so's your mother all the time now. All right. Seminar to be broadcast later. Stay tuned. We'll be back in what? A few minutes? Okay. So, yes, stop. Don't hit stop. Okay? I'm just kidding. So, I went to law school quite a while back now. I had a client told me I was getting old today. So I hope so. I hope that's the case. I hope I'm always getting old. The beats the alternative. And I went to law school to really fight courtroom battles, and because I was going to be Perry Mason. I watched all those reruns growing up, and that's what I wanted to do. And I ended up as an elder law and estate planning attorney, which is a big departure from where I started out. I used to be what's called, and if you've ever heard me say this before, you can't answer. But I used to be a door lawyer. Anybody know what a door lawyer is? Anything that walks through the door. Oh, that's pretty good. You see, takes a while. Yeah, anything that walks through the door. I was working for other attorneys who started off in Raleigh, then Wilmington, then back here, which is my hometown. I grew up on the mean streets of Riverbend, which is a competing golf course neighborhood on the second hole, and was very fortunate to do that. But moved back here with my wife and our 2 children at the time, and we just kept having them, I guess, and which is a lot of motivation to sell a lot of books, I guess, or to work and do a lot of estate planning. So I just had always done estate planning. I was fortunate enough to join a group of elder law attorneys, nationwide group called Elder Council. That's their logo. It's a very good group that gives me a ton of resources. It's not just me standing up here, it's thousands of other elder law and estate planning attorneys nationwide. We go back and forth every day and answer each other's questions and help each other out, and develop new ideas and tools to help seniors and their families protect their assets and legacies. Okay? Protect what you've worked so hard for your entire life. And we'll talk about wills, and we can talk about the foundations. We can talk a little bit about trust and other things that can really help as we go on a little bit. And I don't want to keep you too long because you've already been here for a while. But the main reason I do what I do is helping people. I found that I love the strategy of courtroom work. I did a lot of it. I did a lot of trial work. I did a lot of jury trials. But I also enjoyed my other life, which was planning to help people protect their assets and legacies, and strategizing, the legal strategy behind it. And I still enjoy that quite a bit. In fact, I rolled in here about 6 o'clock tonight, hot from doing a lot of work and strategic work that we had to do for a client. So I really enjoy that. I like the rules, and it just fits me very well. I call it feel good law, and I really enjoy what I do, and hanging out with you people and eating a good meal, just hanging out a little bit. So what we like to do is help people. Hayden, what might be an example of how we help people, do you think? Come here, you stand up here. This is homecoming queen, okay, Hayden Soloway. Come here, Hayden.
Well, that's better than me.
Hayden works in our office, okay, and Hayden helps me do all kind of things, like put on events like this. And so Hayden, what are some of the things we help seniors do? Or how do we help seniors?
Well, protect their assets and legacies.
You'll have to speak up because I'm going deaf.
You'll have to protect that. You can protect their home. You can protect their money. You can protect the 1966 Corvette they're now driving around with a little cap in, and
Okay.
Their coin collections.
You can make sure that their children are going to inherit what they have worked hard for.
Okay.
Okay.
And we see people on a regular basis who have not planned, by the way, to protect their assets and legacies, and who are in a pinch. And as the previous speaker was talking about, no, you got to hang out with me. You're the homecoming queen. Okay. She is the homecoming queen of Shelby High School, by the way, for 1 year.
He just found that out this week. I've worked for him for a year and a half. I don't know
How I found out about that?
Yeah.
Homecoming queen, Shelby High School, 1998, 95.
The first time he ever had me interact with him, dramatically, he introduced me as Mrs. Jones, who's a proctologist. So.
No, you were a proctologist's wife. You were a proctologist's wife.
Excuse me.
That's right. That's right. You were the wife. Okay. So many times I do meet with the crying wife who says, I haven't purchased long-term care insurance, which Ed Hardy was talking to you about. I've spent down, how much money have you spent down over the last couple of years?
$60,000.
A couple $100,000 over the last couple of years.
Exactly. You're right.
Yes, you're more upset than you actually appear.
Oh gosh. Oh my God. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yes, I don't know what you're going to do, but I do know what you're going to do. Okay, I'm going to help you. Okay, and there are ways that we can help you even in an emergency. Okay, so we might want to think about: do you have property? Do you own a home?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's-
We're going to leave that to our children.
All right, we're immediately going to put a ladybird deed on your home to make sure that your retirement savings, when they are spent down, or if they're spent down, we're going to try not to let that happen. Okay.
It's a ladybird deed.
A ladybird deed. A ladybird deed is an enhanced life estate deed that has no look back period if we have to qualify for Medicaid for you. Okay, and will allow so we could put one on today, qualify your husband for Medicaid benefits to pay for health care tomorrow. Okay, because you didn't purchase that long-term care policy from Ed Hardy, right? Or a long-term care rider, right?
It's a look back period.
A look back period. Okay, so in North Carolina, for long-term care Medicaid, there's a 5-year look back period. For nursing home Medicaid, that's long-term care Medicaid. For assisted living, there's a 3-year look back period. That's called special assistance Medicaid in North Carolina. Okay, and all your moves, all the chess pieces, all your property has to be moved and protected ahead of time outside that look back period, or else, what is it subject to?
Medicaid lien.
A spin down. So you have to spend down the money and take a lien on the property that can let Medicaid take the property away if you pass away. Okay, and it passes through what Ed said, I'd help you fix up your wills, right? Right?
Yes.
But how do I feel? What do I feel about wills?
They're insurance policies, but they're better.
They're actually insurance policies, in my opinion. Why don't Brother Sparks? Yeah. David? Why don't insurance policies generally pass through the estate? You could put the estate as the beneficiary. Would that be a smart thing to do, David? As the beneficiary of a life insurance policy or a 401k or an IRA?
You want it to go directly who you want it to go to?
He said you want it to go to directly who you want it to go to. Right? Very few of you probably have your estate as the beneficiary of your IRA or 401k, right? Why wouldn't you want it to go through the estate, Dave?
Is it public knowledge?
It's public knowledge. Have to pay taxes possibly. Court fees. Have to pay stinking old attorneys, right? I've got a probate department that's fully functioning. Okay? And Diane Thackerson, former clerk of court of Cleveland County, runs it. All right? Helps me run it. And she does a great job. She's my other boss besides Hayden. And I can preach till I'm blue in the face about planning ahead. That's one of the reasons I wrote this book. I hope it will inspire new thinking and ideas in the elder law and estate planning community, among attorneys, and among each one of you. And I wrote it for each one of you, not for attorneys. But they'll get the point. And it's about planning ahead. And why wills, in the traditional way of doing it, are what... How many of you know somebody who's had a house taken away because of a long-term care situation? Or had one sold, auctioned off, to pay for a Medicaid lien or something like that? It happens regularly in this county, in every county in the United States. It's a huge turnover of wealth. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. There's things you can do to short circuit that ahead of time. If you pass your property through your will and not individually to people and outside the estate, it's subject to liens like that. You go down to the courthouse and you file a lien. Madam Clerk, here's my will, okay?
Thank you.
It's a long will, okay? It's about 200 pages, all right? And I want to file that. What do I need to do next?
Here's a bunch of papers.
Here's a bunch of papers. Thanks. Can you give me legal advice?
No.
Okay, I'm going to go. Who should I go see?
An attorney.
Which one?
Greg Mack.
There you go. Okay. So and then we're going to publish that will in the we are 90 days. We got to put it in the paper, and then I've got to wait 90 days for. What am I waiting 90 days for? Why do we publish a will, and why do we have a public 90-day waiting period? Anybody know? Yeah, so liens can come in, like the Medicaid claim, right? That's why. Not so. What's your name, ma'am?
Valerie.
Not so Valerie can send money into my estate. That would be nice, Valerie. But nobody does that, okay? It's liens, right? Liens attached. Enforce the sale of your home. Or your IRA, gets paid towards some of those liens, whatever else. You'd want them to go directly to people so you don't have to file an estate if you don't have to. It would be nice to set everything up, the dominoes to fall that way. And that's why the financial industry has those kinds of tools. The insurance industry has those kind of tools. I think they're ahead of the legal industry in creating those kind of tools. Although the Ladybird deed is a step toward that. Life estate deeds, traditional life estate deeds can work that way as well, to put beneficiaries, if you will, on property. Trusts are a great way. Trust can be irrevocable or revocable, okay? That means you can revoke them yourself, or you have a third party that are over some of the assets, can still buy things for you for your benefit, or use things for your benefit, but you essentially cannot cancel the trust. That's an irrevocable trust. We draft those. That's a way to pass your property and protect your property. But if you have a family trust or a revocable living trust, that has no protection against that Medicaid lien situation if someone should have to roll to a government benefit to pay for long-term care. We don't want that to happen. That's a way that we set up assets ahead of time, sometimes with a portion of the money, to make sure they're safe. Maybe some in a revocable living trust and some in an irrevocable living trust. So trusts are a great way to pass property as well. What I've contrasted a little bit is deed planning versus trust planning. We could have a whole seminar on deed planning versus trust planning and the advantages of both. Because you have come tonight and eaten the great food but suffered through my presentation, I will give you, I'd be glad to give you an hour-long sit down with me at the office. I'd be glad to do that for whoever wants to do it. And we can discuss those differences. We can discuss even foundational planning. Foundational planning, I've skipped right over that and gotten into more of the hard stuff. I hope everyone in this room has their general durable power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney, living will, and will. The reason I hope you have those, yes, even the insurance policy, the will, because it's going to get things and get them where it needs to go, even after, if something new comes into play or something else fails. Okay? Who's going to take care of your personal business if you don't have an attorney in fact for personal business designated? That general durable power of attorney. Okay. Who's going to Hayden is? Did I hear Hayden? What?
I said the state.
Hayden, the state? Okay. Yeah, so that's a good answer. That's a great answer. That's called guardianships. That's another presentation that I do sometimes. Guardianship nightmares. And I really mean that. They can be nightmares. If you do not have someone designated to take care of your personal business, and you become, heaven forbid, incompetent, incapacitated, some kind of mental defect, in a coma for a while, anything, and somebody else has to take care of it, they have to go to the courts and apply to be your guardian. You do not want that to happen. I cannot say that enough. I could go on all night and he'd probably start yelling about guardianships if we went on long enough. Because once it's there, under the watchful eye of the court system, now they do a great job trying to protect your assets, but they're not going to let them be moved or spent down to protect the money or to protect your spouse or anything else. The only way to move things or do any planning once that happens is if that person is designated to act in your best interest in a legal document that survives incapacity. That's why it's durable. That's the durability clause. So you need that. Everybody needs that. If I had a wreck on the way home and I don't live too far away, I live probably a mile that way maybe. If I had a wreck on the way home, my wife would need that to change the cell phone bill at Verizon or do anything with utilities if they're in my name. Or, heaven forbid, change something with Jamie Richard, who manages my IRA. And he really does.
We see those come into our office without the durability clause.
We have seen powers of attorney of lesser quality that have no durability clause, that don't survive incapacity. We have seen them that prevent your spouse, that have a clause in there against self-interest. So the spouse can't transfer assets to stop a spend down of money or for her own benefit, which is unfortunate. They didn't know it was in there, but at that point you're stopped because you can't go back and ask the person to re-sign it or do anything new. So those things are very important. Even healthcare powers of attorney, especially healthcare powers of attorney. You see so many people linger on in a bad situation because family can't agree on what to do. So appoint one quarterback to huddle up with the family and then go talk to the healthcare facility and the doctor about that decision. Make quick decisions, too, when you need them. Would you like somebody in a life or death situation that's equipped with a legal document to make a life-saving decision for you? Yes or no? That's a dumb question, isn't it? Of course you would. So you need to appoint who that is and the right person. So you need to have all those documents in place, what I call foundation. General durable power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney, living will, and will. Living will is not what it sounds like. It's a declaration for a desire for a natural death, where you can make that important healthcare decision, heaven forbid, life-ending decision. If your terminal, incurable brain death has occurred and your own life support, a machine, you can go ahead and say, it's okay to let me go. Your children, it's okay to let me go. That's what a living will is. And a will, it would be nice, it's nice for me when I set things up and they pass automatically and the will does not have to be probated and it just goes and works.
That's a gift to your children.
It is a gift to your children. It's true. It's also imperative to protect assets sometimes. People are living a lot longer. Ed told us all about the statistics on how long we live. And I'm jealous because I want to live a long time and I'm not a female. All right? So I'm going to try to beat the odds. Okay? I'm going to try to be like that 10% of males that lives to 100.
Well, today, Greg, you can have that changed.
I'll use the ladies' room on the way out. Thanks a lot. I'll mess up your statistics, okay? So, not in North Carolina you can. So
Unless you're in a private business.
Huh?
Unless you're in a private business.
Okay. If I'm in a private, that's true. That's true. All right. I'm going to get away from that topic. I'm a very strong man with 6 children. Who's totally comfortable with myself. But no, I have a grandfather. I think he's on the next slide. This is one of the reasons I wanted to write the book. If I can look at the book. Okay. You know, this is my grandfather, Papa Mac. This is me a few years ago. This is really why I do what I do. Well, I could add my wife and kids and my clients in there now too, okay? But, you know, when I'm working late at night, and I start off the first chapter and talk about his story. He was in that situation where he had all the money spent down and sold everything. Even sold the truck in the end. Was in assisted living about 14 years. Lived to be about 99 years old, so I'm going that direction, hopefully. And literally lost everything. I don't like that to happen. I don't like to see it happen. I fight for the individual, so I still get to fight for the individual, which is what I used to do all the time in the courtroom. But I get to do that from my office now, and I really enjoy it, and everybody's happy. I tell Pawpaw Mac's story a bit in chapter 1 of this book, Saving the Farm, and that's why I wrote it. Hayden gave me a great saying. She said it reads like a novel. It's a reference book that reads like a novel. And it is. I expanded the table of contents. I like to say I blew out the table of contents so that you can drill down in each chapter and look at more about that general durable power of attorney. And even look at what are immediate powers of attorney or springing powers of attorney. Healthcare powers of attorney, vacationing and healthcare directives, living wills, executors. How to avoid liens on your estate is part of the chapter. How to keep your estate private. And not bashing wills too bad while wills are still necessary. Pre-need funeral planning. And then, as I was writing the book, it became just like the radio show that we did for about 1.5 years, and we've taken a hiatus for the last couple of months. We need to get back on the air, don't we? I'm starting to miss it. Hayden and I did a radio show for the last couple of months. Jamie's been on there. But I started out doing the radio show and writing this book as just estate planning stuff, okay? I was just going to talk about estate planning. That gets boring after a while. For me, not for you. Probably for you too, but for me. And I started saying, you know, there's other things I want to explore. Because what I do really leads into what is long-term care. What are the different types of long-term care? How do you pay for long-term care? What are the different options to pay for long-term care? Ed was talking about one great option of life insurance to long-term care riders when he was up here. So I created a chapter that talks about all those. Independent living facilities, nursing home care, adult daycare. We have one of the best adult daycares in the country here in the Life Enrichment Center. And we have a really, really good mentor and role model, Susie Kennedy, who I interviewed in this book and built the chapter around that book, around that interview. Same thing with independent living facilities. Brookdale, I have a Brookdale vice president that we interviewed for that one. Home health care, Joe Bayada, which is an expert on home health care. We interviewed for that part of it, and built it around that. And on and on. Ed was talking about Alzheimer's and dementia, which is horrible. Horrible that happens. And it seems to happen more and more. So I found and made a friendship with Teepa Snow. Does anybody know who Teepa Snow is? You do? Go to teepasnow.com if you ever want to know anything about Alzheimer's and dementia. I tell you that in this book. Well, Teepa and I had a back and forth exchange in this book about Alzheimer's. What's causing it? Why is there more of it? How can you treat it? What do you do? How do you pay for the care? What legal tools can you use for someone that's in that situation? And what needs to change in the law to help people with Alzheimer's and dementia? And I had a lot of fun. It took 2.5 years to write it because I wanted to wait for good interviews. Senior dental care. It's so important, by the way, and a newer topic. There's no real benefit out there for senior dental care. So many seniors are left without proper dental care, which leads to poor nutrition, which leads to a decline in longevity. And we explore that and what you can do. Medicaid crisis planning. That's a really neat chapter. If you're the crying wife and you see benefits, or husband, you see or your retirement dwindling because of high cost of long-term care, and what to do and what your options are. Do we have any veterans in the room? Thank you. I'm a veteran. I'm going to raise my hand. U.S. Navy.
Air Force.
Air. What did it say again?
Air Force.
Okay. One more time.
Hey, we don't care about you folks.
What, I don't know what Air Force stands for. I always say that. What does Air Force stand for? Did we say? Does that have a funny thing with it? Besides Chair Force, I've heard of Chair.
Tell him about the Navy one.
Never again volunteer yourself.
Yeah.
No, I love my time in the Navy. I'm sure you enjoyed your time in the Air Force. I mean, you know, took a little kid from Shelby and took him all over the world. That's what it did for me. And I had, you know, decent pay and great food, and got to do a really cool job for a long time, for a while. And then, you know, because of that, I'm eligible for certain benefits. And what are those benefits? How can they help me pay for long-term care? How can I add VA aid and attendance benefits to the mix of my retirement income? That can add for a couple about $2,120 this year, every month for life. Those things are discussed in there. A little bit about state taxes. How to choose the right attorney, and I don't have my name in there at all, by the way. I did write the book, but I just talked to you about, you know, what you might want to look for in a estate planning and elder law attorney, and it might not be someone who's a door lawyer, who does everything, and will also take care of your speeding ticket, okay? Just might not want to be that. Because, you know, I want to be an inch wide and a mile deep, instead of the other way around. So this is really all we do. And that's really what you should look for. Not necessarily me, but someone that's really serious about just this. And then the role and benefit in technology and elder law. You wouldn't think it, but it really does play a big role. What do we do with technology and elder law, besides films, presentations, and other things?
All of our records are involve computers, the storage, the eDocs.
Computers and storage, right, of records. What are eDocs?
eDocs are, it's a method by which we put your documents into a form that you can access with through the internet. You can have your doctor do this. If you're in Oklahoma and you need to know, one of your documents, they need to see who your healthcare power of attorney is.
You can send it directly to them from the system.
Yes.
That's right. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, eDocs access, we give you a card that has your username, it's usually your email. You can create a password. Sometimes children of seniors love this too, even especially out-of-state children, because they can handle documents for you, send them around, or you can do that for yourself. You can grant access to a child or a third party if you want to those documents. You might want them to see your healthcare power of attorney, general durable power of attorney, but not your will. So we provide that service as a bank level security system where we house your documents. And I used to charge for it, but we do that for all our clients for life. So I try to use technology, but not for technology's sake, but to help you and help me. So we really believe in good systems, and in any way we can help do things a bit differently and cater to our clientele. So this is a pretty cool book. I thought that I would, instead of hawking books for a little bit, I thought I would give them to you, as many as we can tonight. Is that okay with you? Okay. And Hayden, if you can help me pass these out, okay? I just want to give as many out as we can, okay? And
One per household if we can.
one per household, okay. All right, I'm gonna check. Okay, we're gonna get off now. Have a good night.